Hi guys, welcome back to Servicing the Mercedes Season 2. Come over to my workbench here. So, today we're going to change the oil, and instead of using a pump, because last time we didn't think we got it all out and we made a massive mess, we're going to drain it into this. We're going to change the oil filter. Then we're going to replace the camcat and the oil cooler gasket, and also the centrifuge, because we can smell oil when we stop. Then we're going to replace the spark plugs and one of the pulleys because we can hear it squeaking. Then lastly, we're going to replace the power steering fluid. The car's jacked up and we've warmed the engine, so let's start by draining the oil.
Well, I don't know how long it is.
Scary, it's hot. Not gonna lie, this is the first time I've done this, so I didn't really fancy 8 litres of hot oil on my face.
Coming.
Would it burn?
I don't think so. Is it coming? Once it starts coming, you've got to be really quick.
Well, my fingers are oily. Oh, it was. Okay. I don't know.
This anticipation's killing me.
My arm's killing me. I did it. Now that's undone, let's take out the oil filter. Then we're going to put the oil filter in here just so it doesn't get everywhere. A lot of oil, I have to say. Told you I was more responsible. With the oil filter off, all we have to do is take off the O-rings with this little pick, and the smallest one goes on the dipstick. I've got it. So that's all the new oil filter seams on. Now we're going to change the one off the dipstick. Dipstick's done. Now we're going to put the oil filter in the oil filter housing. There we go. Put them back in. So I'm just going to get a little bit of engine oil from the old oil filter and smear it just around there. Round the O-ring. Like that. Now we just put it in finger tight. Then, now we do the dipstick. Oh. And I'll be back in a year to change them. Now we're doing the cam caps. There's a big one and 2 small ones. As you can see, the big one is just there and the small one is just about there. And the second small one is right there. I'm just going to replace that and do the other 2 now. All you have to do is shove the screwdriver in there, give it a little twist, and pull it off. You can see that's very brittle because one of the teeth have actually come off. Now we get the new, and we put it, where was the old one? About there. All you have to do is give it, shove it in. The cam cap and the centrifuge cover can leak when they get old, and it drips onto the exhaust. So that could be the reason why we're smelling oil when we stop. Like that. Now I've got to do the other two, but if that's what making the car smell, I can't believe how easy of a job it was. So this is what we are trying to get off. So the drip tray goes on like this. So these two are really easy to get, but these two aren't. When you crack the bolt, it's really easy to get off. The pain is just reaching these. I've used two tools here. This little Allen wrench and this ratchet. Now I can just unscrew the top one with my fingers. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it. It's not much to see. Got it. Annoyingly, we don't have the right wrench for the centrifuge, so we're just going to put the drip tray on. This is the new one, quite clearly. The seal's really bad and like rubbed down on this one. It's also coming off around here. It's in really bad condition. I'm just going to put the new one on and replace the bolts. It's the next day, obviously, and we're onto the oil cooler seal. We've drained some coolant and we've loosened the power steering reservoir so we can fit in there with this. This is a really tricky one to reach. Just a little bit of leverage, this should just come off. So this is the seal we're replacing, and you can see how it's deteriorating and there's lots of oil around the edges at the bottom. Now we just have to use the pick to get the old seal off. There's like remnants of it in the Ta-da! Now we just need to put the new one in. We're going to line it up so we know it goes in the right way. And then just squish it on. We're just going to clean it with a little bit of brake cleaner. Oh wow. Now it's all cleaned up, we're just going to put it back on. Once the oil cooler was back on, we just had to top the coolant up. This is going everywhere. Get this on camera. Way. So we've got a new copper washer and we're going to put it on the sump bolt. And we mustn't forget to put that in or we'll pour all of our oil onto the drive. Tightening the oil filter out. Then it was time to put some clean oil back in.
Slowly. Your arm starts getting tired. Slowly.
We're back. It's the next week. I had to stop last week because I had homework, but today we're going to replace the pulley system, the spark plugs and the power steering fluid. First we need to remove the coil packs with a T30 screwdriver. And there we go, the coil pack is removed. Now we're going to use the spark plug spanner to take the spark plug out. We are using Bosch double platinum spark plugs. And you can see on this old one, it's very oily and there's quite a lot of carbon build-up compared to this new one. Now all we have to do is put the new one in. So now we're going to put it back in, and I'm going to do it very slowly by hand so we don't shatter the thread. Now we just have to put the coil pack back on. Now we just have to put the coil pack back on.
Is the rubber thing on there or on there?
On there.
Cool.
Bye bye, long hose. Where is das Glas? I was doing pretty good in German yesterday when I wasn't talking. Ta-da! One done, 5 more to go.
Next on the list was to replace the idler pulley, and you can hear how much it squeaks when we turn the engine on. Annoyingly, the microphone battery ran out here, so we're going to have to voice over it. Dad took the slack off the belt, while I took it off and replaced the pulley. The bearing on the old pulley was knackered, and I could hear it squeaking when I did it with my fingers. Putting on the new pulley was easy. All we had to do was swap the bolt over from the old one to the new one, bolt it to the car, and replace the belt. A really easy fix, only took 5 minutes, and the squeak was gone. The last job on the list was to replace the power steering fluid. First, we had to disconnect this power steering hose. I slowly turned the steering wheel left to right to pump the old fluid into a plastic bottle, while Dad kept the reservoir topped up with new fluid. You can see how dirty the old fluid is compared to the new fluid. All that was left was to reset the service indicator and sign the service book.
All good, Dad. Set for next year. That'll be 20 grand and go clean up.
We cleaned out the engine bay and have driven a couple 100 miles since the service, and we haven't smelt any burning oil, which means it was a job well done. Thanks for watching. See you next time.